First thing first, we need to install Epic Game Launcher to be able to install Unreal Engine. So for doing that, go to Google and search for Epic Games, and after that open up its site, store.epicgames.com. When you open it, you will see something like this, and there will be a download button there. Just click on that download button and it will start downloading the Epic Game Launcher. Know that the Epic Game Launcher is downloaded, double click on it to open it, and in here, because I already download and install it, you are seeing this, but in your case there will be just a install button. Click on that and it will install Epic Game Launcher. After that, the Epic Game Launcher shortcut will be on your desktop, so double click on it to open it. When it's open, go to Unreal Engine tab in here. After that, go to Library tab in here and click on plus to install Unreal Engine. From here, you can decide which version you want to use. Right now there is a preview version of 5.7, but because it has too much bug, I don't want to use it. The version that I want to use is 5.6. This number after 6 doesn't matter in your case. It should be 5.6 if you are a beginner. So choose the version that you want, for example 5.6, and hit install. When you hit install, it will tell you where do you want to install it. You choose your place and click on install and it will be installed. I don't want to install this version. I already installed 5.6. And for you, when it's installed, click on launch. And now you can see Unreal Engine is open and installed successfully. And in the games tab, we can create a game from one of these templates. Now for creating our project, because we want to have a 2D game, that's why I want to use a blank project. So click on blank. In here, choose blueprint. The target platform, we want it to be desktop, so it will be easier to debug our game. And after that, the quality preset maximum. Where do you want to put your project? I want to put it in documents, Unreal Projects, and I will call it course project. And after that, I need to specify a name. In here, I want to call it simple platformer, right? And hit create. And as you can see, it will open up Unreal Engine project successfully. You can see the name of our project over here, simple platformer. You can see a view panel in here that it shows us a open world. With holding right mouse button, we can look around, and with W, we can go forward. With S, we can go backward. With D, we can go right, and with A we can go left. And as you can see, the speed of our moving is too slow. For changing that, you can go up here and change the camera speed. Just drag it over here, for example, and now you can see the speed is 32. Now with holding right mouse button, I can go right, go left, go forward, and go backward successfully. You can see I can move around. With the E button on our keyboard, we can go up, and with the Q on our keyboard, we can go down. Like this. Sometimes you need to move around and you want to change the camera speed, but you don't want to go up here and change it like this. What you want to do, you want to hold right mouse button, and with the middle mouse we can change the camera speed. And you can see with middle mouse I'm changing the camera speed. I can increase it and I can decrease it like this, so we can go close to object really easily. You can see I'm getting close to the floor. Next thing that I want to do, I want to create a new level, because this is an open world level and we don't need it for a 2D game. So that's why we should go to File and create a new level. In here, I want to create an empty level, so click on empty level and hit create. It will create it and open it for us. You can see there is no light, there is nothing in here. It says untitled because it's not saved, so we need to save it somewhere. But where? If you go down here and click on this content drawer button, you can see something like a Explorer, that we have a content folder there. So in here we can create some folders so we can save things inside it. So in here I want to save this level inside a folder. So click on the content folder in here, right click in here, go to new folder and create a new folder, and I want to call it levels. Double click on it, and now you can see there is no level there. We need to save this level inside this folder. So for doing that, we should go to File, Save Current Level. It will tell us where do you want to save it. You can go to Content after that in Levels, and I want to call this level _1. Please use this type of naming for levels so in future you can go to the next level much easier. We want to use this underscore over here. So choose the name of your level like this. After that, hit save, and it will save our level, and you can see it over here inside the levels folder, and you can see it doesn't say untitled anymore. It will say level 1. That's it. Now you did create your first Unreal Engine project. I will show you how you can import the stuff in Unreal Engine and how you can create a sprite so you can put it on the level. Let's see how we can do that. Now that we have our level, we need some assets so we can put it in there. At the description of this video, there is a zip file that is called simpleplatformer.zip. Unzip it with WinRAR or just right click on it and hit extract all. Hit extract, and it will extract everything for you. And as you can see, there is an assets folder that it has some audio and it has some textures for the player and some object. For example, the big chain. You can see it has some textures that we can create an animation off of them. After that, we have a tile set, so we can create a map in Unreal Engine. After that, we have some UI stuff. We need to import them. There are lots of ways to import the stuff in Unreal Engine. One way is to go to content drawer, click on content folder, for example, and in here click on import and import the files one by one, or select everything and hit open. But the best way to import that I always use is to use drag and drop, because it's easier and it will keep the folder structure that we have over here. So for doing that, go to content folder, and after that drag and drop the assets folder into Unreal Engine, and now you can see it will start importing all the assets. That's it. Now all the assets is there. Let's just look at the player idle textures, and as you can see in here, we have some textures for the idle animation, and we want to create a animation off of it. And for doing that, first thing first, we need to save all of these textures. You can see these stars beneath the texture over here. For saving all the textures, you can go to File, go to Save All. No, all of the textures will be saved. Now next thing that you want to do, if you double click on one of them, you can see we have a texture over here that it's a little bit blurry. So we need to change some setting to make it pitch perfect as what it was being drawn. So for doing that, again, there is lots of ways. We can open them one by one and do them, but we can use Ctrl-A to select everything, right click on one of them, go to Sprite Action and apply Paper 2D texture setting. With that, now if we go to File and save everything again and open up one of them, now you can see it's not blurry anymore. It did change some settings in here, so it will be perfect for our game. Now with that done, we need to put one of these textures in our level so we can see it how it looks like in our level. If we drag and drop a texture inside our level, Unreal Engine won't allow us because we can't use texture by its own in Unreal Engine. We need to convert them to something that is called Sprite. So for converting them to a Sprite, we can right click on them, go to Sprite Action and create a Sprite off of it, right? Now we have a sprite that we can drag and drop and put it on our level. So for doing that, we can drag and drop it in our level. Now you can see when we drag and drop something in our level, it will put it there and it will allow us to do that, and we can see it clearly. One way to go to that sprite is with holding right mouse button and with W go to it, but you can see it's hard to do that. We need to adjust the camera speed with middle mouse while holding right mouse button, but the best way to do it is with hitting F on our keyboard. F means focus. So in Unreal Engine, when you are at a view panel, doesn't matter where, if you hit F, it will focus on whatever you are selecting, either in the level or in outliner. You can see player idle frame 1 sprite is in our level, and we can just click on it and hit F to focus on it. You can see I want to decrease the camera speed. We can look at it this way as well. Beautiful. Now the positioning of this, how we can change it. First way is to use these arrows. So for example, if I want to move this sprite in X direction, I can just hover over this red arrow and drag it over left and right. We can bring it up or down in Z direction, and you can see it is changing over here as well. So you have a couple of ways to change the position of a object inside our level. One way, just using these arrows, and one way is to go here and put some value there. For example, you can see I'm changing these value from here, and the position of our sprite is changed as well. Beautiful. Next thing, you can see the location of this sprite is like a random value. We always want to put stuff in 0, 0, 0 location of our level so we can position it better after that. One way to put it on 0, 0, 0 location is to put 0 like this. Put 0 here, put 0 here. But another way is just clicking this reset button, this back arrow, right? If you click on whatever of these back arrow, it will reset that changed value to default value. So if I click in here, you can see it will put it on 0, 0, 0 location. That is the default value for position. And after that, we can hit F to go to that object that we are selecting. Now you can see we did put a sprite in our level. How you can create a 2D animation from some textures, for example, player idle. Let's see how we can do that. For creating an animation from some textures, first we need to convert all of the frames from texture to a sprite. We did create a sprite from one of them. We need to do it for the rest. Because we did the player idle frame 1, we start from frame 2. So select frame 2, hold shift and select frame 26. So we select the rest of the texture to create a sprite for, and right click on one of them, go to a sprite action and create a sprite off of each one of them. Now you can see we did create a sprite for all the textures. Hold Control, select this one as well. Now all the sprite is selected. We can right click on one of them. Now we can create a FlipBook. FlipBook is an object that we can use to play a 2D animation from some sprites, right? So create a FlipBook. You can see it did create it for us. I want to name it FB for FlipBook player idle, right? If you hover over it, you can see it is playing a animation. No, I don't want to use this sprite in our level. I want to delete it. So select it, hit delete on your keyboard. After that, we want to drag and drop this FlipBook. It is in our level. We want to put it on 0, 0, 0 location. So click on this back arrow. Now you can see we have a player idle there. Beautiful. We have a idle animation played in our level. let's create our level background so our player can look good on it, right? So for doing that, if we go to assets, we have a tile set, and with this tile set we can create a background level with some walls and some platformer object. For creating that, we need to first, like always, like we did it for the idle animation, we need to right click on this tile set, go to a sprite action and apply paper to the texture setting. Now right click on it, go to a sprite action and create a tile set from it. Tile set will allow us to create a level as big as we want with these parts that we have in here. For example, this corner, and I will show you how we can use that, right? So right click on this texture, go to sprite action and create a tile set off of this. Now if you double click on this one, you can see I can click in here and decide what is the tile size. Right now by default it is 32 by 32 and we need to change that. The designer that designed this tile set told us that it is 64 by 64 and its name as well, as you can see over here. So we need to change the tile size to 64 by 64. Now we can just click on them, you can see. With this, now we can select them and create our level. These parts that you can see in here is for foreground. This part that is a little bit grayed out is for background, and these are some platforms. We need to add some collision to them, but we will do it later. For now we have a tile set, and from this tile set we need to create a tile map, because a tile set is just some tiles that we can put them together. For creating tile map, right click on the tile set and go to create tile map, and this one I want to call it TM for tile map. I want to call it level 01. That's it. Double click on it to open it, and now you can see we have access to our tile set in here on left, and in the right side we have our level itself, that if we click on paint we can, for example, paint over here like this. If you draw something and you want to erase it, just click on erase and drag and you can delete it. Right now this level is too small, so we need to make it a little bit bigger so we can draw a beautiful level. The size of these you can change it over here, map width and map height. I want it to be 12 for width, and height I want it to be 8. So we can draw our level over here. First thing first, the corners in here I want to use these tiles, so make sure you are in paint and draw this corner over here. After that, because our player needs somewhere to walk on, I want to use this middle part over here, as you can see over here. Let me zoom this part, and I want to put it over here to the end, just like this. And for this corner I want to use this part, so let me put it over here. Now you can see it does look good. Now for this wall, what we can do, we can just use this part for this wall, just like that. I don't want to go up to these, just 3 of them is more than enough. These 2 we don't need, so we can go to erase and erase them. For this corner over here I can use this part, just like this. And for this top part I can use this one, right? Just like this to this point. And for this corner again I can use this part like this, and for the wall over here we can use this part, right? Beautiful. Now we have some place so our player can go there, but we don't want to leave this space empty. What we can do with that, we can use this empty space that we have in here and draw, or we can go to fill and fill all the rest of the space with this middle part. Beautiful, right? Now for the background of this, what we can do, we can use this grayed out stuff over here. For example, this corner that we have here, we can just click in here and go to paint, and now paint it over here. For this middle part we can just select this one like this, go to the end, and for this corner we can use this part. Now for this over here we can use this part just like this, and for the corner down here we can use this part. Now for going from here to here we can use this part over here, so just like that, and for this corner and choose this, and for this part we can choose this one, put it over here, and for the middle part, you guessed it, we can use this middle part over here. Either we can just drag or we can go to fill and fill it up. Beautiful. Now we have a tile map that looks awesome. We can go to file, save everything. Now go to our level, and in here drag and drop this tile map inside our level. And like always, when we put something in our level, we need to click on this arrow button to put it on 000 location. So click in there and that's it. Now you can see there are some Z fighting with our player. How we can fix that? We can change the Y position of one of them. For example, the tile map, I want it to be minus 0.2, a little bit back. Now I want to reposition the player, so let me go back and click on our player idle animation, right, and put it over here. With that done, you can see now our player looks good. If you run our game, you can see it. It looks good on the background, right? Beautiful. Create a background and we add some FlipBook to our level. But if you play, you can see we can't move the character at all because there is no place to write some code. So it's time to find a place to write some code, right? So for doing that, we need something that is called blueprint. For creating a blueprint, I want to go to content drawer, go to content folder, and in here, because I want us to be organized, I want to create a new folder for blueprints. So in here, create a new folder, call it blueprints, okay? And in here, right click, create a blueprint class, and because we want to create a blueprint for a 2D character, we need to go to all classes, and in here search for paper character, hit select, and now it create a blueprint for us. I want to call it BP player, right? Double click on it to open it, and now you can see we create a blueprint that is the parent class, or the type of it is a paper character, that inside it we can decide a flipbook for it. So click on Sprite in here in the components and choose the source flipbook. We have just one, the player idle. We can just put it there. And now you can see we have the player idle animation played in our BP player. Now let's see how we can use that. I want to put it aside over here, and in our level, instead of using this flipbook, delete it, and now I want to use this BP player. I want to put it over here, and after that put the Y to 0 so we can see it, and now we can reposition it. With that, if you play, you can see our player fell down. Why it's falling down? Because there is no collision on these tiles over here. And how we can add them? We can add them in tileset. So go to tileset and click on whatever that you want to add collision to. For example, this part, I want to add a box collision, so click on add box, and now you can see it did add a box collision. We can just click on one of the sides, for example like this. With middle mouse we can unzoom and change the size of it like this, or click on these corners and change the size of it like this. That's it. Now there is a collision for this one. We want to add collision to this one as well. So click on it, add box. That's okay. By default, it is good. This one, add box. That's beautiful. And we want to do it for this one, add box. For this one as well, add box. It will add it automatically for us. and this one add box, this one again add box, this one add box. And now if we save and go to our level, you won't be able to see those collisions, but if you want to see it, you can go to here and you can tell it to show the collision, or use Alt and C for showing the collisions. But again, you can't see the collision. Why you can't see the collision? Because we need to delete these and re-import it again. So in here, go to assets, go to tileset, and drag and drop the tile map and put it to 0, 0, 0 location, and change the Y again to minus 0.2, right? Now with that, if I click away, you can see some collision boxes. You can see collision box down here and collision box all over the place. Now if you run, you can see the player won't fall off, but it is in the air. How we can fix that? The reason that it is in the air is because of this capsule around our character. If you go to BP player, you can see there is a capsule in here that is too big for our character. So click on capsule component and you can change the capsule half height and capsule radius to match our character. The capsule radius, I want it to be 16 like this, and capsule half height, I want it to be 23, just like that. Now we want to put our character, the sprite of it or flipbook of it, exactly at middle of this capsule component. How we can do it easily? Right now we can't look at it from front, right? It's not easy, can't see it correctly. For making it easy, we can go to perspective, this button over here, and tell it to show it from left side. Now you can see if I zoom, I can see the capsule component and the sprite as well. Now we can change the position of the sprite to match the capsule component correctly. So let me bring it to the left. One problem that we have, you can see every step that we are changing, it's like 10. You can see if it go minus 30, minus 40, minus 50, but we wanted to change the position of it pitch perfect, right? For doing that, we can disable this snapping tool. So click in here and now we can change its position correctly. I want to put it on minus 4, for example, and I want to bring it up to, for example, here. We will look at it to see if it looks good or not. Now, if you go to our level and run, you can see it will fall off on the ground and it won't fall out of the level. But you can see the feet of it is not on the ground. It's a little bit up. So how we can fix that? We can again go and select the sprite and bring it down a little bit. Like 3.6 I think is good. Compile, save. Now if you go to a level and run, you can see now the feet is touching the ground. Beautiful. We have a character in our level, but we can't move it right now. If you play, you can see it will fall, but we can't move it. Let's see how we can move it. For moving our character, we need something that is called enhance input. So whenever we hit D, it should go right. Whenever we hit A, it should go left. So for doing that, we should go to content drawer, in content folder, right click, create a new folder and call it inputs. In here, first thing first, I want to go to input and create the input mapping context, and I want to call it IMC platformer, or whatever you want to call it. Next thing, we need a input action. So right click, go to input and create an input action. And I want to call it IA move right. Okay. Now open up the input action, and in here, the value type that we want to pass, it's not digital. We want it to be access 1D or a float. So with that, we decide if we should go right or left. Right? So that's it. That's the only thing that you need to do in the input action. Now open up input mapping context, IMC platformer. Double click on it to open it. Now we need to map that input action. So click in here to add a mapping. And in here, we want to map the IA move right. With that, we need two input, one for D, one for A. So add another one. For the first one, click in here, hit D on your keyboard and put D there. And for the next one, click in here, hit A, so it will put A there. Whenever we hit D, it should give us a value of 1 as output in this input action. But whenever we hit A, we want it to give us -1 for going to the left. But by default, D and A, it's giving us 1. So we need to negate output value whenever we hit A. So in here on modifier, click in here and add a negate modifier to it. That's it. You can hit save, and now we can go to our player, go to event graph, and on event begin play, we want to get the player controller to tell the controller that use this input mapping context. Next thing, from this get player controller, we want to get the get enhance input local player subsystem, and we want to add our input mapping context to it. So add mapping context, and we need to connect it to begin play. Just like that, we should decide what mapping context should be connected to it. That's it, IMC platformer, right? The one that we create. Now with that done, if you go down and search for IA move right, we have a event. This is called event. So whenever we hit D or A, this trigger will happen and it will give us a value between -1 and 1. Now, let's see how we can use it. Based on this event, we want to go right or left. But how we can do it? Because we did create this blueprint from paper character, it has a character movement component inside it. So there is a function inside this character movement that we can use to move our character, and it's called add movement input, right? We need to connect its execution pin to triggered. So whenever D or A is triggered, we want to move our character, add movement to our character. The scale value, we can just pass the action value, that is value between -1 and 1. And the direction is always in positive X. So put 1 for the X there. Now with that done, if we go to our level and run our game, you can see I can move like before, but our character is not moving at all. Why it's not moving? Because it's not getting the input. And how we can do that? For doing that, first thing first, we need a camera. So we can tell it to use this camera to show the player. And for doing that, we need to go to BP player, and in here click on capsule, click on add. First thing first, add a spring arm, because it's easier to work with a spring arm that has a camera connected to it. And now in viewport, because we are in 2D space, we can see that. So go to perspective. Now you can see the red line. This red line helps in 3D game a lot, but in this case, we don't use it a lot. It's just for positioning our camera better. Now, by selecting a spring arm, we can add a camera. So search for camera and add a camera there. Now you can see a camera there. Click on a spring arm. We need to rotate it to look at our player from this side. So the X will be pointing at the right. So click on a spring arm, and now we want to rotate it. But how we can rotate it? You can see there are some tools in here that by default it is on changing the position, right? And if you click in here or hit E on our keyboard, we can rotate it around the Z direction 90 degree, -90 degree, right? Beautiful. Now we have a camera inside our player that can show our player everywhere. How we can tell it to get the inputs? We should click on it in the outliner BP player and search for possess in the detail panel and tell it to auto possess it as player 0, the main player. No, with that, if we save and run, no, if we go right and left, you can see, no, we can move and it's working fine. Beautiful. Next thing that we can do with this spring arm that is really beautiful is the lag. If you go down in lag category, we can enable lag and, for example, change the camera lag speed to 5 and hit compile. Now if we run, when we move, you can see it will take a little bit time so the camera can go to our character. You can see 5 is too much. We can put it to 8, so the speed of our camera is bigger. So now you can see that looks awesome. In this video, I want to show you how you can have a fixed camera that is not following our player. If you want to have a following camera, not a fixed camera, you can ignore this video. But if you want to have a fixed camera like my project and like my game, just watch this video. Let's begin. Now I want to show you some more stuff about the player and possessing things and the cameras. Right now, if we run our game, you can see camera is showing some black space. Let's see how we can fix that. For fixing that, there is a couple of ways. In a spring arm, we can change some stuff. For example, target arm length. So if you put it on 200, you can see the camera is closer. Now if I run, you can see it is closer to our player. But of course, we don't want it to be this much close. So let's just put it on 250. And again, compile, save, and run. I think that's good. No. Another thing, we can bring up the camera a little bit. So with the socket offset or positioning it, you can do it. I want to do it with socket offset in Z direction. So 50, for example. Now if you compile and run, now you can see it's better. We don't see that black space at the bottom. Now again, let's just put 60 there. I think that's the perfect number. Yeah, that's good. We can go right and we can go left and we can see the top part as well. Next thing about the camera, we can use perspective camera, but perspective camera is mostly for 3D game. If we change these to orthographic camera, in that case, now if you compile, you can see doesn't matter what is the arm length, it's showing it this way. And for zooming in a little bit, you can change the ortho width, for example, to 700 without changing any arm length of a spring arm or whatever. Compile, and now if you run, you can see we are closer to our player. Now again, we can zoom by going to camera and change this to 500. So if you want to zoom and unzoom, you can do it with this. We can go left and right. But when you put it on orthographic, you can see the spring arm lag is not working. It's because we have auto calculate ortho planes. If you disable these and now compile and run, now you can see again lagging is working fine. But for this game, I don't want to have a following camera. I want a camera that is stationary. So let's see how we can do that. For doing that, I don't want to have this camera and spring arm, so delete both of them right now. If I go and run, you can see we are seeing the plane from the left side. But what we want to do, we want to add the camera just in here. For having a fixed camera in here, go to add and add the camera in here. A camera actor, right? You can see the positioning of it. Let me bring it forward, rotate it. With hitting E, we can go to rotate state, and now we can rotate it, right? Or you can just click in here instead of hitting E. Now you can see we have a camera that we can see it over here, and we can move it so we see the level completely. We can bring it closer like this. Beautiful. Now with that done, we need to click on this camera and make it the main player. So go down and in auto activate for player, change it from disable to player 0. And now if we run, you can see we can move and we have a fixed camera. Beautiful. Now you should decide if you want to have a following camera or you want to have a fixed camera. I did show you both of them, but in my project I want to have a fixed camera. Some things about this camera I want to change. For example, the field of view in perspective, I want it to be 101, just like this. I want to change the positioning of it. The X, I want it to be 360. The Y, I want it to be 275. And for Z, minus 277, right? This way. And aspect ratio, I want it to be 1.6. Now, with that done, let's just run, and now you can see we can see our level beautifully, right? And you can decide what you want to do. For example, the camera, if you want to bring it a little bit to left, just like this, and bring it up a little bit like this, you can do that. You should decide what type of camera you want to have. In this video, I want to show you how you can change the animation based off the speed of our character. Let's see how we can do that. Now for doing the animations. For doing that, we need to go to BP player, and in here, we need to change the sprite or FlipBook of our player based on the velocity. But right now, if we click in here, we have just the player idle. So we need to create the FlipBook for when we are running, right? So for doing that, go to assets, go to player, and we have run animation over here. We need to select everything with Control A. You can select everything. Right click on one of them, go to a sprite action and apply paper to the texture setting. This is really important. Next thing, right click on one of them, go to a sprite action. We need to create a sprite from all of these textures. You can see these were textures. Now we create some sprites off of these textures. Now all the sprites is selected, and if it's not selected, you can just select the first one and hold shift, select the last one. All of the sprite will be selected. Now we can right click on one of them and create a flipbook off of it. I want to name it FB for flipbook player run. Now if you hover over it, you can see it's playing the run animation. Now I want to show you something in here. Each paper flipbook, if you open it, you can see, we can see the frames like over here. We can pause it and look through the frames one by one, and we can play it again. You can see it over here, and we can change the speed of the playing of this animation frame per second. Right now it's playing it at rate of 50 frames per second. I want to change that to 20. You can see now it's like playing it a little bit faster, right? That's it. So with this, you can change the play rate of a animation. 20 for me is more than enough. Now we can use it. For using it, let's just click on a sprite and put it there, FB player run. Now if you go to viewport, you can see it's always playing the run animation. But by default, we want to play the idle animation, and based on the velocity or speed of our character, we want to play the right flipbook or right animation. And how we can do that? We can do it with Blueprint, right? So in here, we did use event begin play, and whatever we connect to event begin play, it will happen just once. But there is an event tick over here that if our game plays at 60 frames per second, this event tick will happen 60 times per second. And we want to decide which animation to be played based on the velocity at each frame. So first thing first, we need to get the velocity. And how we can do that? We can get the character movement component from here and get the velocity off of it. Velocity, just search for velocity. Go down, it always at the bottom over here, right? Next, we want to get the length of it. So in here, we can just search for vector length. And no, first thing first, let's just show it. We can show this kind of stuff with a print string, right? And connect these to here. No, it show us a value that representing the speed of our character. Now, if you run, you can see right now it is 0 because we are not moving. If we go right, you can see the speed is 600. If we go back, you can see again the speed is 600. So when we are moving, the speed is changing and we are getting that speed over here. We don't need to show it, we need to use it. In here, we want to check if the speed is greater than 0, can use a branch like this. If the speed is more than 0, we can change the FlipBook on this sprite. So we can get the sprite and use set FlipBook on it, right? The FlipBook that we want to use is player run, and we want to connect it to true. So if the speed is more than 0, we want to play the run animation. I want to use copy and paste, so select this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V to paste it over here. And if the speed is 0, this false will happen and we want to play the idle animation. This target over here needs the sprite as well. So let's just connect it like this because we want to change the FlipBook of this sprite, right? Now let's just compile, save, and now run. You can see if I move, you can see it's playing the run animation. That looks awesome. But the problem right now is that the speed of our character is really too fast. It's not matching the animation. And how we can fix that? We shouldn't allow player to go that fast. So we need to decrease the maximum speed that our player can go. So click on character movement. In here, if we go down, we have character movement walking category. And if you go down, we have max walk speed. That's 600. I want to change this to 200 because 600 is too much. Just change that, compile, save. Now, if you go to our level and run, now you can see that looks much better. Beautiful. In this video, I want to show you how you can be more organized, how you can have a straightened line, how you can have some event to make things more modular, and how you can have some comments to show what these lines of code are doing and how you can use that event or function. Let's see how we can do that. For making our blueprint more organized, I want to use functions and events and macros a lot. So let me explain what they are. You can see we did connect something to event tick, but we want to connect lots of things to event tick. So we don't need all of these nodes to be here. How we can fix that? We can create an event or function. I will show you both of them. For converting this part of our code to a function, you need to just select all of them that you want it to be a function, right click on one of them and collapse it to a function. And we can call it whatever we want. I want to call it update animation, right? Now you can see we have a function that do exactly the same thing as before. As you can see, it's working like before, but you can see we are more organized. If you double click on this one, you can see all the codes are here. But again, I don't want to do it like this because instead of function, we could just use macros, we could use events, and in future we will use both of them. But when you are using a function, the limitation is that you can't use timer in it. You can't use timeline, you can't use delay in it. But if you use an event, you can use delay, timeline, timer, and all of that. That's why I always use events. So again, I don't want to use a function over here. Right click on it, click on expand node. So we bring back all of our code from our function, and now we can delete this function. We don't need it. What I want to do, I want to grab all of this code with holding control and selecting all the nodes like this and bring it down. I want to use an event. So in here, we can right click and search for custom event, and I want to call it update animation, like we call it when we create the function, right? It's exactly like a function, but the good thing about an event is that we can use timeline, timer, and delays, and we need them. So now with this event, like a function, we can use it over here. We can say update animation. Beautiful. Now if we hit compile and go and run, you can see it will work like before, but we are organized and we have lots of options to do lots of things with a event, right? Next thing that I want to show you, we did use a branch in here, but I want to show you a new thing that helps us a lot. Instead of using a branch, I want to use a select. This select that we have over here, just choose it. Now you can see on this index, we can connect whatever we want. For example, this boolean over here. So no, if the speed is more than 0, this true will happen, and if the speed was not more than 0, this false will happen, and we can decide what they should. And the good thing about this is that when we want to set a flipbook, we don't need two of them. We need just one of them. And if we connect it like this, now at the input of this select node, we can decide what animation to be. For example, if the speed is more than 0, this true will happen, and we can play the run animation. And if the speed was not more than 0, it is 0, so we can play the idle animation over here. And this need execution pin like this. And with this done, this over here, and with this done, it will do the exact same thing, but we are more organized. With just one set flipbook, we are changing the animation. Now if you go to a level and run, you can see it is working exactly like before, but we are more organized. Next thing that I want to show you is organizing of our code. For example, you can see these lines are not straight. These lines are not straight. We can select all of these like this, right click on one of them, go to alignment, and you can see there is a lot of alignment in here, but I want to use straighten connections. That is the Q shortcut. Click on it, and now you can see all the lines are straight and beautiful. And we can organize a little bit over here, just drag and drop it. Now you can see these two lines is not straight. If you want it to be straight, select both of them, hit Q on your keyboard. Now you can see it is straight. Beautiful. We can do it for this one as well. Select this one, hold Control, select this one as well, hit Q. Now you can see it is more organized. Next thing that I want to show you is how you can leave some comment. For example, I want to say what these lines of code are doing. So select everything over here, hit C on your keyboard, and now we can add a comment over here, right? So I want to say change the animation based on speed, right? And we can change the color of this comment as well to whatever we want, like this. Beautiful, right? Now with that we can organize our code much more. That's it. Now we did make our code more organized. Beautiful. In this video, I will show you how you can go right and look right and go left and look left. Let's see how we can do that. One problem that we have with our game is that when we go right, everything is okay, but when we go left, it's not looking left. So we need to fix that. For fixing that, there is lots of way, but the way that I want to use is by rotating this. For example, when we go right, it should be like this. The rotation should be the default, but when we are going left, the rotation we want it to be 180 around the z-axis. If I hit W, you can see this is the z-axis. The rotation around the z-axis will be this, right? Beautiful. So that's what we wanted to do. For doing that, I want to go and do it at event tick. So at every frame, we want to check if we should look at left or right. So for doing that, I want to create a custom event again to be organized. So in here, I will create a custom event and I will call it update rotation, right? That's it. Now in here, I want to connect it to here, update rotation like this. And now this update rotation event will happen 60 times per second. How we want to know if we are going left or right? We can use the velocity again in here. So we can get our character movement and in here get the velocity. It is down here, get the velocity. And in here, if I just show this velocity with a print string, right? Just like this. And now let's just look at it. If we run, you can see if I go right, the x is 200. And if I go left, the x is minus 200. So the x of our velocity is telling us if we are going right or if we are going left. We want to use that. But how we can get this x? There is two ways. One way is to drag and drop and break this vector and use the x of it. Another way, we can just right click in here, split the struct pin and get the x off of it. Now we want to check if the velocity x is more than 0, it means we are going right, and if it is less than 0, we are going left. We can do it with a branch, but I want to show you something else. It's called compare float. That's it. This compare float is giving us if the velocity x is more than 0, this will happen, and if the velocity x was less than 0, this will happen. This is more organized to do it this way. Now what we want to do, we want to rotate everything, rotate this player, right? And how we can do that? We can get the controller that it will give us the whole player over here. And we can set control rotation on it. And the rotation that we want this player to have, we can make it. We can say make rotator down here, this one. And if the velocity x was bigger than 0, the rotation around the x, rotation around the y, and rotation around the z, we want it to be 0 because we are going to the right. Now I want to copy and paste everything over here. If the velocity x was less than 0, this will happen, and we want the rotation around the z-axis that is called yaw, we want it to be 180. That's it. Compile, save. Now let's just test that. If we run, if we go right, you can see it's looking right. If you go left, you can see it's looking left again, and everything is working fine and beautiful. In this video, I will show you how you can jump with the character and have some air control when we are in the air. Let's see how we can do that. For doing the jump, first we need an enhanced input action. So go to content drawer, go to content folder, go to input, and in here right click, go to input and create input action. I want to call it IA jump. Double click on it to open it. The value type boolean is more than enough because either we are jumping or we are not. No, we need to map it in the IMC platformer in here. So add a new mapping in here. We want to map the IA jump. And when we want these to happen, click in here, hit the space on your keyboard. So with the space, we want it to be able to jump. That's it. Now go to BP player. In here, we want to create that event. In here, I will say IA jump, right? The event of it. And now in here, whenever we press the space, the started will happen, and whenever we release a space, the completed will happen, right? So whenever we press, we want to jump, and we can just say jump. That's it. It will jump. And whenever we release a space, the complete will happen, and we can say stop jumping, right? That's it. That's it for jumping. Because we have character movement component, it is really easy to jump and move. Now let's just run. You can see I can hit the space and jump. But the jump doesn't look that good. That's why I want to change some stuff. Click on the character movement. We have a gravity scale because I want it to look more like a old platformer. I want to change the gravity scale to 2. But of course, you should decide what you want to do with your game. And because we did increase the gravity scale, what will happen? Let me run. You can see it will jump less and it will go to ground really faster. But I want to compensate that a little bit. So if we go down in here on character movement component, we have a jumping falling category that I want to increase the jump Z velocity to 600, and I want to increase the air control, so when we are in the air we can move our character as well. I want to increase it to 0.8, and that's it. Hit compile, save. Now let's just run. Now if I jump, you can see it will go up and it will go down faster. That's it. Beautiful. In this video, I will show you how you can play a single frame animation for jumping. Let's see how we can do that. First thing first, for the jump animation, we need to create its flipbook. So go to content drawer, go to assets, go to player, and go to fall. And in here we have a texture. Right click on it, go to sprite action, apply, paper 2D texture setting. After that, right click on it, go to a sprite action, create a sprite from it. After that, again, right click on it and create a flipbook from it, right? And I want to call it FB player fall. We don't need this flipbook at the end of it. That's it. Now we have a single frame animation that we can play for jumping. So now for implementing that, let's just go to BP player. And in here, where do I want to do that? Where we are selecting the flipbook in here, right? But how we can know if we are jumping or not? For doing that, again, there is something in character movement. So get the character movement and get ease falling. That's it. This will tell us if we are in the air or not. If we are in the air, this is falling will be true. I don't want to set the flipbook right now, so I will select everything, bring it a little bit to the right. And in here, I want to use another select, this select over here, and connect these to here. If we are falling, this true will happen and we will be in the air. But if is falling was not true, this false will happen, and we can decide if we should play the idle animation or run animation, right? But in case of true, we can just play the fall animation and we can just connect it to flipbook, right? Now let me make these a little bit bigger. Now let's just hit compile and run. Now if I jump, you can see it's playing that single frame for us. That's it. That is our jump animation. That is a single frame. Beautiful. In In this video, I will show you how you can have jump sound and jump particle visual effects. You can see it? Beautiful. Let's see how we can do that. For doing audio, it's really easy. But the important thing about audio is when to play it and where to play it. For example, for the jump sound. Let's just go to BP player. Whenever we hit the spacebar, this started will happen and we jump. And we can play sound. Play sound 2D, because we are playing a 2D game. The 2D sound is more than enough. And in here we can decide the jump sound or whatever sound that you want. Just with that, hit compile, save, and now if you hit run at the space, you can see and hear the sound. Beautiful. Now, next thing that we want to do, we have some visual effects for jump. If you go to content drawer, go to content, go to asset, and in here, go to objects and jump particle, you can see we have some textures that we can create animation off of them. But before doing that, we need to select everything. So Ctrl A to select everything, right click on one of them, go to Sprite action, apply paper 2D texture setting. Next thing, again select everything, right click on one of them, go to Sprite action and create a sprite off of them. Select all of the sprites with holding shift, select the first one and select the last one. It will select everything, right click on one of them and create a flipbook. Now you can see we have a jump particles flipbook. If you double click on it, you can see it better over here. We can zoom a little bit and you can see it. And you can see the frame per second is 15. For me it's enough, but you can change it if you want. Now with that, let's see how we can play that whenever we hit a space or jump. For doing that, we need to go to content drawer, go to content folder, go to blueprints. We need to create a blueprint for that. So in here, right click, create a blueprint class of type of actor. This is the most basic type of blueprint that we can change its position, and we have some basic functionality and we can spawn it whenever, wherever we want. So actor is more than enough. Just select it. I want to call it BP jump particles, right? Double click on it to open it. I want to drag this and put it aside over here so we have everything over here. Next thing, I want to add a paper flipbook, right? Because we want to play a paper flipbook. Drag and drop it and put it as default scene root. It's not necessary to do that, but it is more cleaner to do it, right? Because we don't need that scene root. And with this paper flipbook, the flipbook that we want to play is jump particle. So select that and you can see it over here. The problem with this flipbook is that this is looping. And if you click in here and in detail panel search for loop, you can see you can't find that to disable its looping, right? For fixing that, we need to go to event graph and get this paper flipbook. There is a variable inside this paper flipbook that with that we can set it if it should be looping or not. Just search for set looping and just like that, hit compile. Now if we put it on our level, let me put it over here like this, y should be 0 so you can see it. Now you can see it's looping, and if we run it will happen just once and it will stay at the last frame. You can see it over here. I can eject and show it to you. You can see it did play just once and it is staying there. What we want to do after finished playing the flipbook animation once, we want to destroy this blueprint completely so it won't be on the RAM anymore. So it will be more efficient. And how we can do that? We can go to paper flipbook. There is an event on this paper flipbook. If you go down, it is called unfinished playing. So whenever this flipbook get to be finished playing, this event will happen and we can click on this plus to create that event. And whenever this event happen, we can use destroy to destroy it, right? Now with that, if we run it over here, you can see it did play. We couldn't see it because it did happen really fast and it did go away and you can't see it anymore. Now let's see how we can use it actually. I want to delete it from here. I want to spawn it automatically whenever we hit space on our keyboard and we jump. So for doing that, we say spawn actor from a class. What actor we wanna spawn is called BP jump particle. But the most important thing about this jump particle is its transform. Where do we wanna put it in the world? We need to put it at the feet of our player, right? For doing that, for getting that spawn transform, I want to use something that is called scene component. So in here, let's just go to our player, close to it, and now click on this Sprite, click on add, and search for scene component, right? This scene component, we can use its location to spawn our particle. So create that, and I want to call it jump particle position. Mostly we use these scene components for its position. For positioning it, I want to put it at the feet of our character, and just with this location we want to test it to see if it looks good or not. Now that we have this scene component, we can use it in here to use its transform. So we can get this jump particle position and we can get the word transform off of it, this one, and we can right click on it, split a stroke pin, right? It will give us the location, rotation, and a scale. And on this one, we want to right click, split a stroke pin as well, use the location and use the rotation. We don't want to use the scale because in 2D games, you don't want to change the scales in this way because it will create lots of bugs. So that's more than enough. Now let's just test it. If you go to a level and run, hit the space, you can see the particles are there, but it's a little bit down. And we don't want that to happen. So we need to bring our jump particle position a little bit up. I think -16 is good. A little bit up. Now with that, let's just test that out. If you jump, now you can see it create the particle exactly at the right place. Beautiful. Now we have jump sound and jump particles as well, and it's working fine. In this video, I will show you how you can have footstep sound like this. Beautiful. Let's see how we can do that. For doing a footstep sound, it's not as easy as we did it for the jump. There are more complex way to do it. For example, PaperZD, but because PaperZD is more advanced plugin and this is just a beginner course, I don't want to go to PaperZD, but there is a way to play footstep sound at the right time, right? With time. For doing that, I want to go to begin play over here and set the timer. How we can use a timer in Blueprint? We just say set timer by event. It's easier to do it with event, but you can do it with function as well. Let's just use by event. And this timer, we want it to happen every 0.3 second for footstep, right? And we want it to be on loop, and each 0.3 second, this event will happen, and we need to connect a custom event to it. I will call it walk cycle. Now with that done, if we use a print string in here, and let's just say foot on ground, right? Every 0.3 second. Now if you run, you can see every 0.3 second it says foot on the ground. We don't want that. What we want, whenever we hit D or A on our keyboard or the velocity is more than 0, we want to play footstep sound, right? So for doing that, we need to get the character movement and get the velocity off of it. Get velocity. It is down here. I need the length of it, so search for length because we don't want to play the footstep sound whenever we jump, we don't need the vector length that is calculating x, y, and z. We need just vector length x and y, because whenever the velocity along the x direction was not 0, in that case we are running, and in that case we want to play the footstep sound. So we need vector length x, y, right? And in here we need to get the absolute of it, because either we are going right or we are going left. And in both cases, if we are running, we want to play the footstep sound, so we need the absolute of it. Now with that, we want to say if it is more than 0, we can check this with the branch. So search for branch in here and connect this walk cycle custom event to here. Now with that done, whenever we are running, the velocity will be more than 0 and this true will happen, and we can play sound 2D, right? The sound that we want to play, if you go down, is called walk footstep, right? That's it. Hit compile, save. Now if we run, you can see it's playing the sound for us. Beautiful. Now we have a footstep sound. In this video, I want to give you a challenge. We have some textures for run particle. As you can see, when we run, there are some particle beneath the feet of our character. I want you to do that like we did it for the jump. You need to do it for the run as well. You try to do that and we will do it in this video together as well. Let's begin. For doing a footstep visual effects, first we need to create that visual effects. So let's just go to content drawer, go to content folder, and in here go to assets, objects, and we have run particles. This is what we want. As you can see, it is texture, so select everything, right click on one of them, go to Sprite action and click on apply paper to the texture setting. After that, right click on one of them, go to Sprite action, create a sprite off of them, and now select all the sprites, right click on one of them and create a flipbook. Now if you look at it, you can see it. By default it is good, so make sure you save everything. We need to create a blueprint for it, so go to content, go to blueprint. In here, right click, create a blueprint class of type of actor. This is more than enough. I want to call it BP run particles. Double click on it to open it. Like before, we need to add a flipbook, so search for flipbook, paper flipbook, put it as default scene root. Now choose the flipbook that we create, run particle, and you can see it over here. Like before, like we did it for jump particle, we need to set the looping to be false. So we get the paper flipbook and in here set looping to false at the begin play, right? Next thing, whenever this flipbook get to be finished playing, we need to destroy the blueprint completely. So in here, we need to destroy it, right? Like we did it in jump particle. Now we have the correct blueprint, we can use it. Where we can use it? Wherever we play the walk footstep sound, right? So in here, we can spawn an actor from class that we want to use, BP run particles, right? Now for the transform, again, we need to create another one of these scene components. So click on Sprite, click on add, and add a scene component. Search for scene and add the scene component. I want to call it run particle position or pose, right? That's it. I want to put it at bottom over here and a little bit to the back, right? Like this. Just like that. Hit compile, save. It will give us an error in here because we didn't set the spawn transform. No, we can use this run particle position, get its transform, get word transform like this. We can right click on it to split a strike pin. Can you bring it a little bit to the left? This one, again, right click on it, split a strike pin and connect the location to the location and rotation to the rotation. That's it. Now you can hit compile, save. Now let's just test that out. If you run, you can see now we have a visual effects for when we are walking. You can change the positioning of this round particle really easy. Just click on it, bring it up a little bit, compile. After that, it will take effect. You can see now that looks good, beautiful. In this video, I'm going to show you some problems and how you can fix them. So let's begin. Sometimes when we close Unreal Engine and open it and we run our game, the collision is not there, the collision of these tile sets. Right now for me it's okay, but if it's not okay for you, you need to click on this TileMap and reset it. Like this, click in here for it to go away. After that, click in here and select it one more time. And again, select it, and now it will be fixed. So if at sometimes you open up Unreal Engine and you don't have the collisions, just reset that. It's a bug. It's nothing we can do about it. Next thing, when we open up Unreal Engine again, it will open up a untitled level. And by default, we wanted to open up level 1. So how we can fix that? If you go to edit, go to project setting, and in here go to maps and modes. In default map, change both editor started map and editor template map, override both of them to level 1, just like this. Again, there is a bug that when you change something, it changed to none, and after that you need to select it one more time to be changed. That's it. Now whenever you open up Unreal Engine again, it will open up level 1 for us. Another problem that I want to fix is whenever we open up something, for example, let's just go here, open up, for example, one of these assets, go to player, idle, double click on this one, you can see it will open it up in another window. We don't want that to happen. What we want it to happen, we want it to be opened alongside the level, just like this, right? For doing that, you should go to edit, editor preferences, and in here search for open. And in asset editor open location, change it to main window. So now whenever you open up something in Unreal Engine, it will be open up in here, not in a new window. That's it. You can just close it. You can go to file, save all, and now everything is saved. Now what I want to do, I want to right click on this one and close all the tabs to the right, because I want to start clean and add some more things in our level. In this video, I will show you how you can add these windows to our level to make our level a little bit alive. Let's see how we can do that. For decorating our level, we have some stuff. Let's just go to content drawer and look at them. In assets, in objects, we have a window light, and if you go to other objects, we have a window as well. First thing for using them, let's just select everything, right click on one of them and go to sprite action, apply paper 2D texture setting to all of them, right? We need to create a sprite from all of them. So again, select everything, right click on one of them, go to sprite action and create a sprite for all of them. Windows sprite we need. And next, let's just go to window light. You can see again, it is some texture that we can create animation off of. So like always, select everything, go to sprite action, apply paper 2D texture setting. After that, right click on one of them, go to sprite action, create a sprite. This time we need to right click on it and create a FlipBook off of it, right? We have an animation for window light and we have windows, right? Window sprite. Beautiful. Let's see how we can create that. Go to content drawer. I want to create a blueprint for it. So go to blueprint and in here right click, create a blueprint class of type of actor. It is more than enough. I want to call it BP window, right? That's it. open it up. First thing first, we need to add the window, and window is a sprite. So in here, click on add and search for sprite. We need a paper sprite. That's it. I can just drag and drop it and put it as a root in here. We don't need that default scene root. So click on it and search for window. You can see Windows sprite in here. Beautiful. Next thing, click on paper sprite, click on add. We need the light, so search for FlipBook. The light is a FlipBook because it is animation. So put it there as a child of paper sprite and choose the window light. This one, right? Now the problem is we can't see the window light at all. For seeing that, because it has some opacity, we need to change the material on it. But if you click in here, you can see there is no material to work with. There are some material inside the Unreal Engine itself that is for 2D games that we need to enable them. And for enabling them, you can just click in here and tell it to show the engine content. Now you can see the default materials of Unreal Engine. In here, just search for a sprite. For the sprite, you can see there is a lot of them in here, but the one that we need is translucent unlit sprite material, because this light has some opacity. That's why we need this material to be translucent, right? Now, for using it, we need to reposition it like this. That here, we need to change the Y of it a little bit so we don't have any Z fighting in here. For example, 0.1, right? No, that looks better. The X of it, 64 is good. And the Z, minus 47. That I think looks good. Just hit compile, save. Now let's just see how we can use it. We can go to our level and put some of them there. For example, let's just put this one over here. We need to put the Y to 0 so we can see it. After that, we can position it wherever we want. The size of it right now is too big. We can just click in here and change the size, for example, to 0.6. I think that size is much better, but you decide what is the size that you want. I want to put 3 of them in here. For me to put it better, right now we are in perspective mode. We can put it on the left side like this. You can see it will go to wireframe. We can change that by clicking in here and tell it to be unlit. Now you can see it better. With middle mouse, now I can zoom, and with right click I can go left and right. This is a good option, right? Now with that we can position it. I can hold Alt to duplicate it like this, and again hold Alt, drag and duplicate it one more time, and now we have 3 of them in here. We can again select them and reposition them a little bit better. Of course, we can use these values as well. For example, this one, if you want it to be on X of 200, right? This one we can put it on 300, 350, for example, right? So this one is 200, we add 150 to it, it's 350 now, and this one 350 by 150, 500. Now they are evenly positioned, right? Now if you run, we have some things that we can look at them, right? But one problem that you can see, it has some collisions. We don't need collisions for these windows, so let's see how we can fix them. One thing that I want to do, I want to select all of them and change the Y positioning of them to minus 0.1. So whenever our player go like this, it is at front of the shadow, not behind the shadow, right? That's good. Next thing that I want to do, I want to open up this window sprite. So let's just go to Asset, Objects, Other Objects, and we have window sprite in here. And In here we have a collision setting that we need to change. What we want to do in a Sprite collision domain, we want to change these to none, so we don't have any collision with anything. So now with that, if you play, you can see we don't have any collision with this. I want to make these looks a little bit better and make these lights a little bit dimmer. How we can do that? We can go to BP window, click on the paper FlipBook, this light in here, and change the sprite color, alpha of it to 0.7 for example. Now you can see it is a little bit dimmer, and I think that looks much better, right? Beautiful. Now we have some windows in our level. In this video, I will show you how you can add more decoration like this chair and bottle and barrel to our level. Let's see how we can do that. For adding some decoration to our level, we have some sprite that you can use, and it's easy to use them. For example, this chair that we have, we create a sprite for it. We can just drag and drop it over here and put the Y of it to 0 so you can see it, and we can position it like this. And let's just see what will happen just like this. If you go, you can see it has some collision. If you want to have some collisions, it's okay, but in my game I don't want to have it. So double click on it again in here in Sprite collision domain, change this to none. Hit save. Now if we run, you can see we don't have any collision there, but if you go there, we have some Z fighting, and we need to fix that. For fixing that, we can change the Y positioning of it. If you put this on -0.1, because our player is at 0 and the background is at -0.2, this will be between the player and the background. Now with that, if you run, you can see it will be in the background. But if you put this on 0.1, let's see what will happen. If you run, you can see the player now is behind the chair. We don't want that. We want it to be -0.1. That's it. Now we have a chair on background. We have other stuff that we can add. For example, this blue bottle, we can just drag and drop it, put it over here. The Z of it, we can put it on -0.1 and put it on the chair like this. We have barrel in here. We can again drag and drop and put it on -0.1 and position it, right? Hit save. Now we need to change the collision of them, right? So one way to change the collision is just click on them and change the sprite collision domain for each one of them. But I want to show you a way that you can do it for multiple things at once. For example, click on this one and hold Control, click on this one as well. Right click on one of them, go to Asset Action, and in here, go to Edit Selection in Property Matrix. Now we can change both of these sprite collisions to none at the same time. So these two, we want to change the collision of them from use 3D physics to none. After that, hit save. Now both of them won't have any collision. Let's just open one of them, for example this one, and now you can see a sprite collision domain is none, so it's working fine. Let's just run, and now you can see we have some stuff in our level that make our level more lively. In this video, I will show you how you can have some tutorial on our level to tell us how we can play our game. Let's see how we can do that. For adding some tutorial, we can add some text to our level. So click in here and search for text renderer. Just drag and drop, put it on the level, and by default you can't see nothing because the rotation of it is not good. So let's just go back to perspective so we can see the text. You can see it is back there. Let's just change the Y positioning of it to -0.15, just like that. Now you can see the text is there, but the rotation of it is not good. So let's just rotate it around the z-axis, the yaw of it, to 90 degree, and now you can see it. In here on the text, I want to say use A and D to go forward and backward, right? This is the text that we want to have. Let's just position it a little bit. I want to change the color of it. So let's just go down and change the color. The color that I want to use a color picker to choose something that match with the background. So this one, you can see the color of the text didn't change with changing the color. The reason of that is that we have two default texture material opaque. As you can see over here, we need the top one, this one. If you select that, now you can see the color of it has changed. Now if you run, you can see the color is okay. And if we jump, you can see it's behind us. Beautiful, right? Now, instead of these A and D that we have there, we want to use a sprite. So let's see how we can do that. For doing that, instead of using A in here, I want to add 4 space. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the D as well, we want to add 4 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, you can see we have some empty slot there. So for using a sprite instead of that text A and D, let's just go to content drawer, go to asset, go to UI, and we have some texture over here. Select everything, right click on one of them, go to sprite action, apply paper to the texture setting first. After that, right click on one of them, go to sprite action and create a sprite, right? We need just the A and D. So let's just use A first. Just drag and drop it, put it there, and the positioning of it, the Y of it, I want it to be minus 0.15, and you can see it over here. Should bring it up. You can see it's too big. We need to change the size of it to, I think 0.3 is more than enough. So put 0.3 there, and now we can position it better, right? That's it. Let's just bring it a little bit to the left. We need more space. Click in here, add one more to both of them, hit enter. So now we can position it better. I think that's good. Or we can add more space, like 6 times. That's it. Now we can position it better. I don't want to change the color of these. This white color is more than enough. Now with that, if you run, you can see use A, and we need to put D there as well. So let's just go to content drawer, D sprite, drag and drop it, put the Y of it to minus 0.15, hit enter, and now we can position it. The size of it, we want it to be 0.3 like A, and this text needs more space for D, so let's just add one more, and now we can position this D. Let me find it in here, the D sprite, and put it there. We can change the Z location based on this one. It is this, Control C to copy it, and click on D and put it there. So both Z location of these two sprites will be the same. Now with that, if we save and run, now you can see use A and D to go forward and backward, but the problem is we have some collision with them, right? We don't want that. If you want, you can have that. So for fixing that, again, like before, we need to select both of these keyboard A and keyboard D sprite, right click on one of them, go to asset action. We want to change the collision of both of them at the same time. So edit selection in property matrix, and in here go to collision and change use 3D physics to none. Make sure you save. Now if you run, you can see we don't have any collision with it. Now our first level is okay. In this video, I will show you how you can create the level 2. If you want to have exactly the level that I have, you can watch this video, but if you want to have your own level, you can create your own level as well. Let's see how we can create this level together. Now for creating another level, actually I want to use the level 1 and duplicate it to make our new level much faster. And I think this is a good way to do it. So go to content drawer, in here go to levels, click on level 1, hit Ctrl and D on your keyboard to create level 2. Or you can just right click on it and click on duplicate to duplicate it, right? Now we have level 2. Let's just open it. Make sure you save it so you can open it. Now the level 2 is exactly level 1, and if you go down and click on the tile map, you can see the tile map is level 1. So we need to duplicate that as well. Click in here to open up TileMap level 1. Again, right click on it, duplicate it, or hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Now we have TileMap level 2. Just open that, and now this is TileMap level 2. I want to erase everything first, like this. Make sure you erase everything. Now that everything is erased, if we save and go to level 2, you can see because it's using TileMap level 1, nothing changed, but I want to go here and select the level 2. Now you can see it is empty. I want to delete everything like this. We don't need them. We need to create a new level, right? That's it. Now we have a new level that we can draw something in it, right? So in here, make sure you save everything first. And after that, if you look at this side, you can see we have tile layer list, and we want to use that layers. So first layer, I want it to be the background layer. So rename it and name it background. For renaming it, you can right click on it, click on rename, or hit F2 on it to rename it to background. Next thing, we need another layer. So click in here, it will create another layer in here, hit F2 and call it main. Now we have 2 layers. This part, I want to create our walls and our ground, right, in the main layer. After finishing that, we can add the background. First, let's just start with main. First thing first, I want to create a corner like this. Let me zoom a little bit. This is our corner. Now I want to create a ground so our player can walk on. So I will choose this one, make sure it is on paint, and create 5 on 3, 4, 5. Of course you can do whatever you want, but I want to do this. Now we need a wall in here, maybe 2 of them is more than enough. So I will use this one to create the wall over here. Next we need a corner over here, so I can use this one. After that we need a corner over here. I want to use this one like this. Again, we need a wall in here, so let's just use this one. You can see it's taking shape. After that, we need a corner over here. I want to use this one. After that, I want to use this one to create a platform. After that, we need a corner like this over here. Again, we need a wall like this. After that, we need a corner over here. I can use this one. Now for top part, I can use this one to create the top part, right? Just put it there. If it looks good, you can use it, right? Now the top part, I want it to be like this. Now this corner, I want to use this one to put it there. Now we need a wall over here. I can use this one to see if it good. 4 of them is more than enough. Now we need a corner over here, and we need a platform so our player can walk on. So select this one, just put it there. If it looks good, it's okay. We need 2 of them. After that, we need a corner like this. After that, a wall. After that, again a corner like this, and I want to create a platform. And after that, a corner. No, we need a corner again in here. Let's just choose this one like this. After that, this kind of corner, just like this. No, we need a wall. I can use this one. Go down here, and we need a corner like this over here. Beautiful. Now we need to have some empty spaces in here. We can use this one, click on it, hit fill, and fill up everything. Fill here as well. Now that's beautiful, but we need to create the background. So click on the background, and you can just hide the main. First thing first, I want to choose this middle part and fill up all the background. Now with that, you can just leave it like that, and I think that looks good, but I want to create these corners to look more beautiful. So click on paint, and for example, this is the corner, just put it there. This is the bottom, so I can use this one. This is a corner, so let's just use this one. This is again a corner, I can use this one like this. After that, we have a corner here, I can use this one just like that. In here, we can use this part like this. We have a corner over here that I can use this one, right? Beautiful. Now this top part, I can use this one. Just put it there like this. This is a corner like this. Again, this part, I can use this one. This is a corner, I can use this one. Again, another corner over here. After I click in here, put this here. This is the bottom part, you can use this one just like this. This part I can use this one, I think. Yeah, that looks good. And this is the bottom part, I think we can use this one. This is a corner just like this, and that I think looks good, and the background is okay. We see some part in here, but if you zoom you can see it is not there. Let's just hit save, go to our level and change the position of our player, and now hit run. Now you can see we have a level over here. That looks good, but we need to change the position of our camera. So click on our camera, bring it back a little bit and bring it up maybe, so we can see our level completely, just like this. Now if we hit run, now you can see it's working fine. Beautiful. You can see we have some parts over here that when we run our game we can see it. You can see it in here, but if we get out, you can see sometimes we have that problem, sometimes we don't. For fixing that, go to tileset, right click on it and click on condition tileset texture and hit enter. Just create that. No, if you save and run, you can see that problem will go away, and that looks good, right? So if you have those kind of problems, you can go to tileset, right click on it and condition tile sheet texture, and it will fix our problem, that small problem that we have. In this video, I will show you how you can decorate our level 2 and have some platforms so we can jump on them. Let's see how we can do that. For adding some platform, if we go here, I want to go to main layer, and in here I want to use these platforms that we have over here. First, we have this platform over here. We can put it wherever we want. I want to put it over here. I want to put another one of them in here. And this place in here, I want to use this kind of platform. But first, I want to put this one over here. After that, use this one for closing it up, right? That's it. Next, I want to use this platform over here and connect it to here. So player can jump on this one, after that this one, after that this one, and after that on this one. Beautiful. Now, let's just check that out. If we run, you can see the platforms are there, but the problem is we can't jump on it, right? That is a problem. Let's see how we can fix that. For fixing that, we need some collision on these ones. We did add collisions to these ones, but we didn't add it for these ones. So let's just go to our tile set, double click on it, and in here, first I want to see which one of them has collisions. For doing that, you can click on colliding tiles. Now you can see these parts have collisions, but this part doesn't have it. So we need to add it there. So first thing first, this one. Click on it, add a box. Now the collision box, we don't want it to be this big, so I can just click in here and change the size like this. Right? No, it has right collision. For this one, again, add the box, click on this line and bring it up, just like this. Again, for this one, add the box and click in here and change the size of it. Again, on this one, add the box, click on this line. Of course, you can just click on the dot as well. For example, like this, but it's not easy to do it this way. We can click on the line and bring it up just here, right? Now it has some collisions parts. Now let's just run to see if it's working or not. If we jump, again, it's not working. Why it's not working? Because when we change something in tileset, it won't update in our level. How we can fix that? We can click in here and reset it. So click in here, and after that, choose it one more time. It won't be selected because it's bugged. Again, select it one more time, and now you can see it has those collisions. Hit save. Now, if we run, we can jump on them. Beautiful. Cool. Now we have some platforms that is working. I want to add some decoration to our level. So for doing that, I will go to content drawer, go to content, go to asset, and in objects, in other objects, I want to add the chair. So chair sprite up here. The y of it, we want it to be minus 0.1, for example. Where is it? Up there. So let's just bring it down. I want to put one of them over here. I want to add the bottle. So let's just get the bottle sprite and put it in here. The y of it minus 0.1. And now we can bring it up. Let's just put it over here. It's just for decoration, right? I can go to perspective and change it to the left, so it will be easier to work with it, right? It's easier this way. Next, let's just add a barrel, put it over here, and change the y of it to minus 0.1, and we can position it. Beautiful. Now we have our level 2 more lively. In this video, I want to give you a challenge. As you can see, I need you to create a blueprint for candle that has candle light and some FlipBook for the big chain and a small chain, and all of those textures. If you go to assets, go to objects, you can see it is in here. For example, a small chain, big chain, and candle light and the candle itself. You try to do that, we will do it in this video together as well. For add-ins and creating more decoration for our level, let's just go to objects. We have a small chain that you can see it's just some textures. We can select all of them, right click on one of them, sprite action, apply paper to 2D texture setting. After that, right click on one of them, go to sprite action, create a sprite off of them. You can see it better now. Right click on one of them and create a FlipBook, right? I will call it FB small chain, right? Where can we use it? If you look at here on these platforms, we can connect them to it, right? So drag and drop, and the position of it for now, let's put it on minus 0.1, right? And let me zoom so we can connect it better, like this. And that's it. We can add more with holding Alt and drag and drop and put one of them in here. Let me zoom in here like this. Beautiful. hold Alt, drag and drop, put one more in here. That's it. No, we have more stuff. So let's just go back to objects. We have big chain, again some texture, select everything, right click on one of them, apply paper 2D texture setting. After that, right click on one of them, sprite action, create a sprite. After that, right click on one of them, create flipbook, and we can call it FB big chain. Again, we can use them, so drag and drop and put it on -0.1 like this. If we zoom, we can connect them better like this. Bring it up a little bit. Beautiful. And for example, this one, we don't want to connect anything to it. I think this much is more than enough. Now, if we run, you can see our level is more lively than before, right? Beautiful. Now, next thing, we can add some window light. It is in blueprint, so let's just go there. We have BP window. Let's put one of them in here. The positioning of it, -0.1. And let's just position it over here, right? We can change the size to 0.6 maybe. That's it. We can add another one, just like this over here. Now our level is much more alive, right? Make sure you save. We have more stuff. For example, if I go to assets, go to objects, we have candle, right? So let's just select everything, right click on one of them, sprite action, apply paper to the texture setting. After that, right click, sprite action, create a sprite, like always we've done. After that, create a flipbook for our candle, and I can call it FB candle, right? After that, we have candle light. So let's just do that as well. Select everything. We need to do apply paper to the texture setting. After that, sprite action, create a sprite. After that, right click on one of them, create flipbook, FB candle light. Now, for using both of these, of course, we could just drag and drop it, put it in our level, but I want to create a blueprint for it so it will be easier to work with. So in here, in blueprint folder, create a blueprint of type of actor, and we can call it BP candle, right? Double click on it to open it. Now in here, we have a flipbook. So add a flipbook and put it as default scene root. We want to have the candle itself, right? You can see it over here. Now, next thing, add another flipbook for the light. So I will call it candle light. Okay, and this one we can call it candle. You should always name this stuff, but because we are in the course and I don't want my videos to get too long, I don't always rename stuff. Candle light, let's just use FB candle light. That's it. You can't see it because you know the material of it we need to change. So search for a sprite in here. It's translucent unlit sprite material, right? In a sprite color, I want to change the alpha of it to 0.6 maybe to be a little bit dimmer. I can bring it up like this or bring it up in here. I think that looks good. You should decide where you want to position it. That's beautiful. Now we can put it in our level. For example, I want to add one of them in here. So let's just position it -0.1 and position it here. Now we have some candles. We can create more. If we bring it down here, just like this, we have 2 candles that we add to our level. Beautiful. In this video, I will show you how you can create tutorial for jump. Let's see. For creating some tutorial, of course, you know how to do it, but let's just do it together again. In here, we need a text renderer. So add a text renderer. The rotation of it, of course, you know, you need to rotate it 90 degrees. And in this, we want to tell them if you want to jump, hit a space, right? So in here, I want to say hit some space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, jump. And the material of it, as you know, there is two of them. We need this top one, default text material opaque. And now we can change the color with this color picker. I wanted to use this color. It didn't change, so again click on the text renderer and the color is changed. Now if you run, you can see the color is okay. Now next thing, we need to add the space bar there. It is in assets, in UI. This is the sprite, so drag and drop, put it there. The Y positioning of it, I want it to be minus 0.15, and let's just put it there. Change the size to 0.6 maybe. I think that's good. Let's just zoom a little bit. This icon that we can see in here, if you hit G on our keyboard, we can get rid of it. So now let's just position this. Again, it's too big. Let's just change the size of it to 0.4 maybe. I think that's good. Or we can make it bigger, 0.45. That's good. Let's just position it like this. And you can see it is behind the chain, so it looks good. No, let's just save and run. No, you can see it looks good. Hit the space to jump, but it has some collisions, so we need to fix that. So double click on the space sprite in here. Instead of use 3D physics, to change it to none, and that's it. This will fix our problem. Now with that, hit the space to jump and everything will work fine. But the head to jump is not behind us, so let's just select it one more time. And the Y positioning of it, we want it to be minus 0.15. That's it. Make sure you save and run. Now you can see it's behind us and everything looks good. Beautiful. Now our level 2 is complete and I need another level. And after that I will show you how you can go from one level to another level. So let's see how we can do that now. In this video, I will show you how you can have level 3 with some decoration. Let's see how we can do that. For creating another level that show double jump, for doing that like before, we need to go to levels, click on level 2, Ctrl D to duplicate it. This is level 3, just open it, hit save. And now you can see we have level 2 in here in level 3, right? You can see it over here. Now we have TileMap level 2, we need to duplicate that as well. So for finding that, we can click on this TM level 1 that is showing the TileMap level 2. Click in here, and in here, Ctrl D to duplicate it for level 3. Double click on it to open it. Now in here we need to choose TM level 3. Make sure it is selected. And after that we can save everything like this. In the level 3, I want to get rid of all of these decorations. So select all of them, get rid of them, because we need to make it in another way, right? This one we don't need, this one we don't need. Again, this one and this one. That's clean. Make sure you save. Now go to TM level 3. I need to erase everything like this. Just erase. And now you can see everything is erased. For the background, we can fill it up with this middle part, just like this. Just hold left mouse button and fill everything. That's it. Now our level 3 is ready to make, right? Now if you go back, you can see it. It is like this. Now with that done, I want to hide the background for now. In the main, I want to create a level that we can use double jump in there. Actually, it is easy. We need a corner over here. Make sure you select the paint. After that, let's just create a platform just like this and another one. And this is the corner, so let's just put it there. We need a wall just like this. 2, 3 I think is good. And at top here, I want to use this one to put it over here. And now we can continue like this. This is our level, right? This part, we want it to be empty, so click in this empty space and fill it up just like this. Next, this wall, it's easy. We can use this, select paint, bring it up to here. We have a corner over here, so select it like this, and after that this top part, we can finish it up like this. And for this corner, let's just use this one, put it there. And now we need to bring it down, so this is a corner as well. So for this corner, just use this one. And now for connecting them, it's easy. We can use this one, and that's it. We have this level. Now for the background, of course you can leave it just like this. I think that looks good. I don't want to change the background. You know how to do it by now. Beautiful. Now in the main, I want to add two of these platforms. One in here and one in here. That's it. Make sure you save. Now if you go to our level, you can see I can jump on this one, but I can't jump on the next one. So that is a problem. So in this level, we want to introduce the double jump. But before doing that, we need to decorate our level a little bit. So for example, let's just go to blueprint. I need to add some window. Make sure it is -0.1 in here, and we have this window over here. The size of it 0.6, right? Add two more, hold Alt, add one more over here. I want to add another one top here, and again hold Alt, duplicate, add another one over here, hold Alt, duplicate, add another one, hold Alt, duplicate, add another one. You can precisely position them, but I think that looks good. I need to bring these down a little bit, so select everything with holding Control, and I think that looks good. Now I need to add some chains to here, so let's just go in content, in asset, in object. We have a big chain, so we need its flipbook, paper flipbook down here. Just put it here. The positioning of it -0.1, just put it there. Beautiful. Now I need one of the small ones, so go to small chain. We need the flipbook. The flipbook of it is here. Change the position Y -0.1, and let's just put it on this side, just like this. That's it. I need another one of them in here, down here, to make our game more lively, more alive. And get down just like this, and that's it. I want to add some more decoration, so let's go back to object, other objects. Let's just add a chair down here, -0.1, and we can put it over here. That's it. Add some bottle, maybe in here, -0.1 for the Y. Put it over here. Beautiful. Some barrel maybe, so this one, let's just put it over here. The Y positioning of it, -0.1. That's it. Let's just put it over here. Beautiful. Now I want to add some candle light, so go to blueprint. We have candle in here. Change the position Y to -0.1, and now we have some candle as well. Position it better. Now with that done, I think that looks awesome. Our level 3 is beautiful. Now we need to add the tutorial to it. So for doing that, we go to add, search for text, renderer, drag and drop, put it in here. The Y positioning of it -0.15, right? And rotation around the Z axis 90 degree. That's it. And for the text, I want to say double tap 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to double jump, right? It's too big, so let's just bring it a little bit to the left, just like this. Bring it down, maybe we'll change its position later, but for now the material of it, you know that it should be this default text material, opaque, the top one. After that we can change its color with the color picker, this one over here, And that's it. The color is okay. And now we want to add the space right there. So go to UI in here, drag and drop this one, and go up the position of it minus 0.15 for the Y of it, the size of it 0.45 I think, or 0.5. No, let's just zoom a little bit to position it better, just like this. And that I think looks good. Let's just hit save, and now if we run, you can see that looks good. Double tap a space to double jump, but right now our player can't have double jump. The effects is happening on the air, but the double jump is not happening. So first we need to add the double jump first, and after that we need to fix these particles on air. Let's see how we can fix. In this video, I will show you how you can have double jump, so you can pass these obstacles that needs double jump. Let's see how we can do that. For having a double jump, actually it is easy. For doing that, we should go to Blueprints and open up the BP player. In our paper character class, we have a variable that is called jump max count that we can change it. By default, it is 1, so we can jump just once. For changing that, we can go to the begin play, and at the end of this execution path, search for jump max count and set it to be, for example, 2. That's it. Just with that, now we can jump twice. Let's just test that out. If we run, you can see I can jump and I can double jump. Beautiful, right? But one problem that we have is that when we jump, we have that effects, visual effects when we double jump, and we don't want that. If you want that, it's okay, but I don't want that. For fixing that, we can go down where we have jump. In here, we have this jump particle effect, right? We don't want that to happen second time. How we can fix it? We can check if we are in air, don't spawn these jump particle, right? So for doing that, we can get the character movement, and inside this character movement, we can get ease falling. That's it. And with that, we can use a branch, right? Use a branch in here, and if we are not falling, it means we are not in air. So if the is falling is false, it means we are on the ground and we can spawn the jump particle. Now compile, and now let's just test that out. If we jump in here, jump twice, and now you can see the first time we have the visual effects, but the next time we don't have it. One other problem that we have is when we jump to the left, for example, you can see we have that visual effects for when we are running, right? We need to fix that, and we can fix it with just this. We check in if we are in there. So select all of these, is falling with the branch, Ctrl C to copy it, and now in here, when we are checking if the velocity is more than 0, Ctrl V to paste it in here. We don't need this branch at all. We need just this is falling. We need to check if we are not falling and the speed is more than 0. In that case, play the walk foot step sound, and after that the visual effects of that, right? So for doing that, we can just use a not boolean in here. So with this, we are saying if we are not falling and the velocity is more than 0, in that case we can play the sound and play the visual effects, right? But how we can combine these two together? We can use a AND boolean. So with this AND boolean, we are saying if we are not falling and the speed is more than 0, in that case, you can play the sound and you can have the run particle. So now let's just compile, save, and now run to see if we have that problem or not. go left, you can see, no, we don't have that problem anymore. And we have double jump as well. Just look at it, beautiful. In this video, I will show you how you can create a door that we can collide with it so it can take us to the next level, like you can see it over here. Let's see how we can do that. Now, for going from one level to another level, we need a door. So let's just see what is the asset for door is. Go to assets, go to objects, and we have a door. We have door that is closed, and we have door that is closing, some texture, it has animation, and some texture for opening the door. First thing first, because we have some textures, we need to apply texture to the setting. One way is to go to each one of these folders, right click on them and do it, right? But I want to show you another way. When we are inside this door folder, I want to apply some filter. If you don't have this filter, you can go here and choose the filter. For you, it should be like this. If I reset it, you won't see anything. If it is like this, go here, click in here, and we want to search for textures. So search for textures, just like this. Check it, now you see the filters. You can turn it off or turn it on, because we want to see all the textures that is inside this door folder. Doesn't matter in which folder it is, it will show all of them. Now, with all of the textures there, we can use Ctrl+A to select everything, right click on one of them, go to Sprite action, apply paper to the texture setting, right? Beautiful. Now we can go to file and save everything. Now everything is saved. We want to disable the filter like this. Go to closed one, right click on it, go to Sprite action and create a sprite for the door closed. That's it. Now go to closing and in here select everything, right click on one of them, go to a sprite action, create a sprite. Because this is the animation, we need to right click on it and create a flipbook for it. Now if you hover over it, you can see it is like this. It is happening too fast. We need to decrease it to 7 maybe, like this, or decrease it to something like 5. I think 5 is better, so just save it. Now the next one is door opening. So go there, select everything, right click on one of them, a sprite action, create a sprite, and right click on it again, create flipbook from those sprite, and double click on it to open it. We need to change the frame per second to 5 again, so it looks much better now, right? Now we have some animation that we can play. For using them, let's just go to content folder, go to blueprint, and in here we want to create a blueprint to manage our door. So right click in here, create a blueprint class of type of actor, and I want to call it BP door, right? Double click on it to open it. In here, first thing that I want to do in here, I want to add a box collision. So whenever we collide with this door, we go to the next level. So in here, click on add, search for box collision, right? I want to put this as default scene root, so drag and drop it on default scene root. After that, I want to add a flipbook. That's it. Now with that done, we need to choose a flipbook, but we have a door closing flipbook and door opening flipbook. We don't have door that is closed, right? So let's just go back to objects, go to door that is closed, right click on this sprite and create a flipbook of this one frame of texture, one frame of a sprite, right? That's it. Now we can use it. So in here we want to choose door closed flipbook. That's it. Beautiful. But we don't want this door to take us to another level when we touch this part of the door. We want it to take us to the next level when the player is at the middle of this door. So how we can do that? In box collision, we can change stuff. For example, the box extent, for example, like this, right? You can see a small one. So whenever player go at the middle of this door, the door will take us to the next level. Beautiful. Now let's just put it in our level. For example, in level 3, we want to put a top here. So whenever player learn the double jump, it can go to the next level if it has next level, right? So for putting it there, let's just go to blueprint, take the BP door, and the positioning of it minus 0.1 I think is good. Now let's just put it over here like this. We don't need this window anymore, so let's just delete that and put this door over here. Beautiful. Now if you run, we have a door that if we go there, you can see we are behind it, so we need to fix that. It should be minus 0.1, right? Beautiful. Now save, and if we run, just go there to see. Yeah, everything is good, but it's not taking us to the next level. But it's okay for now. For now, we want to just place the doors in the level. So let's just go to levels, level 1. Make sure you save everything. And in here at the end, we want to add the door. So let's just go to content, go to blueprint, BP door, put it there. Make sure the Y location is minus 0.1, and that's it. Beautiful. We have it in level 1. No, we need to do it in level 2. So go to levels, level 2. And in here we learn the jump. We can put it over here, right? So let's just go to content, go to blueprint, and put the BP door there. Position of it, minus 0.1. Beautiful. Let's just bring it down a little bit, like this. And now everything is beautiful, right? In this video, I will show you how you can use this door to go to the next level. You can see we did collide with the door, and now we are in level 2. Now for going to the next level, let's just start from level 1. So in here, let's just go to levels, level 1. And in here, whenever we collide with this box collision, we want it to go to the next level. For doing that, let's just go to BP door, go to event graph. Whenever we collide with this box collision, we want to get its event. So go down and on component begin overlap, click on it, and in here the other actor that collide with this door box collision, it should be the player. So how we can check it? We can check it with a cast to BP player, right? That's it. If it is the player, let's just use a print string to show it. We say print string and show player collide with door. That's it. Now let's just run. If we go right, when we collide with it, it says player collide with the door. Beautiful. Now whenever we collide with the door, we need to go to the next level. But how we can do that? For doing that, I want to create a variable to tell it what is the index of the next level. So in here, create a variable. I will call it next level number, right? And the type of it, I want it to be integer, right? Beautiful. Compile, save. And one thing that I want to do with this variable, I wanted to make it instance editable. Compile, save. Now if you go to our level and click on the door, you can see the next level number, because we make it instance editable, is here to be changed. So in here we are in level 1, so the next level number is 2. So put 2 in there, make sure you save. Now in BP door we can use this next level number to go to the next level. And how we can do that? We can use open level by name. The level name, you can see it has level underscore 1, level underscore 2, level underscore 3. That's why I use this kind of naming. And for getting that, we can say append append for the string. You can see it should be in category of string, and in the A and B, when we put something, it will append them together. For example, in A, I want to say level underscore, and in the B, I want to use next level number. So drag and drop the next level number and connect it to here. It will automatically convert it to the string, so we can use it in this B. No, we can just use it as the level name. Again, it will automatically convert it from a string to the name, so we can use it over here. Now let's just hit compile, and now if we run, let's see what will happen. If you collide with our door, you can see we are going to the next level. Beautiful. In this video, I will show you how you can add animation for opening and closing the door, so it will look more natural. Let's see how we can do that. Now, for adding some animation to our door, right now it doesn't look good. It will instantly go to the next level. For doing that, go to BP door. After we check if the player is colliding, we don't want to go to the next level right away. So let's just drag and drop these over here so we have some space. In here, first we want to set the FlipBook, right? So we get the paper FlipBook and we say set FlipBook, right? And connect these two here. What FlipBook we want to play is door opening. So choose door opening in here and make sure you set looping to false, because we want it to happen just once. And right after that, I want to play a sound. So play sound 2D. The sound that I want to play is called enter play. Just like that. If you want to see it, just click in here and that's it. This is interplay audio. Beautiful. Now let's just hit compile, save, and now if we run, if we go forward and collide, you can see the door will be open, and it will be open until we close it. Right now, what we want to do when this animation get to be finished, we want to close the door, and after that go to the next level. So how we can do that? We need a delay, so make sure this FlipBook is played completely, and after that close the door. How we can do it? We have lots of way to do it, but I want to use timer. So we say set timer by an event because it's easier. We want to stay for 1 second and we don't want to loop, and after 1 second we want to close the door. So in here we need a custom event, and I can call it close door, right? That's it. So again, like before, we can get our FlipBook, and with this FlipBook we want to set the FlipBook to be the closed door, right? Door closing. And after that, what we want to do, we want to say play from start, right? So it will play from the start of the animation. And we need to play the sound as well. Play sound 2D, the interplay that we played for opening the door. We use it for close the door as well. Compile. Now if you go to our level and go to the door, it will be open and it will be closed. In this video, I will show you how you can go to the next level and play the player go into door animation. Let's just look at it one more time and you can see it. Now for going to the next level with the animation, let's just go to BP door. In here, first we open up the door, and after that we close the door, right? When we close the door, again we want to wait for 1 second, and we can do it with set timer by event, right? After 1 second, we want to go to the next level, and after 1 second this event will happen, and we want to connect the custom event to it, and I want to call it go to next level, right? That's it. Now with that done, we can just bring all of this code to there like this, and now after 1 second we will be able to go to the next level. Let's just see. Go here, And after 1 second, we will go to the next level. Beautiful. Let's just check this level as well. And that's it. Beautiful. Now, whenever we collide with the door, we want the animation to happen to our player as well. We don't want it to play the idle animation, right? So if you go to content drawer, go to contents folder, and in here go to asset, go to player, we have a door in animation, right? You can see it over here. Select everything, right click on one of them, go to sprite action, apply paper to the texture setting, and after that go to sprite action, create a sprite, and after that again right click and create a flipbook for it, right? It's called player door in, and you can see it. Beautiful. So whenever we collide with the door, we want to play that animation. And how we can do that? We can go to BP player, and in here click on capsule component, and on this capsule component we have on component begin overlap as well. So click in there. Now with this, let me grab it over here. We want to check the other actor. If the other actor was the door, we can go to the next level and we can play the animation. So we should cast it to BP door to see if it is the door or not. If it is the door, I want to change the flipbook. So get this sprite. It's called a sprite, but it is a flipbook. We want to set the flipbook. So we say set flipbook like this, and the flipbook that you want to play, just go down, it's called player door in, right? And right after that we want to set the looping to be false because we want it to happen just once. And that's all we need to do. Let's just go to our level. Now if we test that out, if we go to the door, you can see it's not playing the animation. Why it's not playing the animation? Let's just test that. If we add a printer string in here, should make sure that this line, if it's happening or not. I will say player at door, right? At compile. Now let's just test it to see if that line of execution is happening or not. You can see it says player at door. So this is happening. If you go to BP player door, this is happening, but we don't see the animation. Why we are not seeing the animation? It's because in the event tick we have update animation, and the update animation will always override whatever animation that we use. So for fixing that, we need some variables. So let's just create a variable and call it can move. So if we are at the door, we shouldn't be able to move. By default, we wanted to say we should be able to move, right? After that, I want to create another one, and I want to say is at door. So if we are at door, we shouldn't be able to move, and by default is at door should be false. So with these variables, we want to go here whenever we collide with the door, we want to set the can move, set it to false like this, and set the is at door to true because we are at door, right? But where we want to use them, for example, this add movement for going left to right. We don't want it to happen if this can move was false. So in here we want to check can move with the branch. If it is true, we can move. Cool, right? Now, where else we want to use that? On the update animation, we want to do it. But I want to use is at door at this time. So is at door, if not true, so with not boolean, I can use that. If we are not at door, we can update the animation. So let's just use a branch. Of course, we could just use can move variable, but I wanted to have is at door as well. So if this is true, we can change the flipbook. We can update the animation. So if we are not at door, we can do that. But if we are at door, we can't update the animation anymore. So just with that, let's just compile, save, and now if we run, let's just go to right. You can see the animation is getting to be played completely, and we can't move when we are at door. You can see, beautiful. In this video, I will show you how you can have last level door. So when you go inside last level door, it won't go to the new level. And in future, we will add some UI element to show that player wins. Let's see how we can do that. For testing our level, let's just go to the first level, play it, and we are going to the level 2 correctly. Now let's try to go to level 3. You can see we are going to level 1 again. Why it's happening? If you open up the level 2, let's just go to content, levels, level 2, make sure you save everything, and click on the door. You can see the next level number is 0. That's why we go back to level 1. So we need to put this to 3 because we are in level 2 and we need to go to level 3. Make sure you save. Now, if you are in level 2 and go to that door, like this, it will go to level 3 successfully. You can see it. But one problem that we have, when we are in level 3, let's see what will happen. We will go back to level 1. And we don't want that to happen. What do you want it to happen? We want to be able to say on level 3, that we are in the last level and show that the player wins if they finish the last level. And how we can do that? If we go to BP door, we can create a variable type of boolean to tell it if this door is the last level door or not. So I will call it last level, and by default, if we compile, we want it to be false. In level 3, we want to click on our door and we can tell it to be the last level door. But you can't see it over here. Why? Because this last level variable is not instance editable. We need to make it instance editable. Hit compile. No, we can change it. On level 3, we want it to be last level, right? So now with that, what do you want it to happen? If you go here, we don't want to open the level if we are in last level, right? So let me bring all of this down. I want to use a branch like this, and I want to check the last level. If it is the last level, what do you want it to happen? This true will happen. I want to say print a string, right? And say this is last level, right? And if it's not the last level, we want to go to the next level. That's it. Let's just hit compile. Now go to our last level in here. If we go to the door, you can see we are going in and it says this is last level. So it's working fine. But we don't want to use a print string. What do you want to use? We want to use a UI element to show that we finished the game and if you want to play again or not. We will do it in next video. In this video, I will show you how you can create some UI elements so when you finish the game, it will blur up the screen and it will say you won. Let's see how we can do that. Now, when we finish the last level, we want to show some UI element to say you win. For doing that, let's just go to content drawer. In content folder, in here, right click, create a new folder and call it widgets. For creating UI elements, we need to create a widget blueprint. In Unreal Engine, we call it widgets. So in here, right click, go to user interface and select a widget blueprint. I want to create it of type of user widget and I want to call it WBP complete game UI, right? Or whatever you want to call it. So in here, when you open it, you can see we have a designer tab and we have a graph tab that has event pre-construct, event construct, and event tick. Event tick is like event tick in any blueprint. Event construct is like event begin play. Now, first thing when we create a user widget in designer tab, we add some stuff, and in the palette over here we have some stuff that we can put in here. Mostly we start with a panel, a canvas panel. So drag and drop it in hierarchy in here. Now we have a canvas panel that we can put things inside it. First thing with this canvas panel that I want to do, I want to blur the background so we can say you won. Right? If we go down, you can see there is a special effects in here that if you drag and drop it in our canvas panel, now you can see the size of it. Because we want to blur all of these canvas panel, that's why we need to click on the background blur and anchor it to all sides like this. And now that we anchor it to all of the corners, we can change the offset left, offset top, and offset right and bottom to 0. So it will fill up everything. You can see now it's filling up everything. And now with that, we can change the blur strength. For example, I want to put it on 8. Now you can see it did blur the background. Now I want to add a text to say that you won. You completed the game. So in here we can add the text to our canvas panel. Now we want to put this text at the middle, right? At the middle of our screen. And how we can do that? First thing first, we need to anchor it to middle. And after that, the position X and position Y, we want it to be 0. Now you can see it is anchored at the middle, but it's aligned with top left corner of our text block. But again, we want it to aligned at middle of our text block. And how we can do that? We can do it with alignment. The alignment has a X and Y value that is between 0 and 1. If you put it to 1, it means, for example, in X, it will be in right direction. It will be at the end of right side of it. So if you put 1 in here, you can see, no, it's aligned to right of it, right of this text block. And if you put 1 for Y, it will be aligned at the bottom of it, right? But if you want to put it at middle, how we can do that? We can put 0.5 there and 0.5 for Y as well. No, it's aligned at the middle. Let's just change this text block to say you won. That's it. But again, you can see it is not at middle because the text is outside the text block. And how we can fix that? We can just check the size to content. So the size of the text block is exactly the size of the text inside it. No, you won text is exactly at middle of our screen. With that done, I want to change the color of it. So click in here, change it to green and hit OK. Now we have a text that we can show. For seeing it better, you can click in here and click away. You can see it will be like this, but I want to change the size of the text so it will be a little bit bigger. And for doing that, we can go to font, and in size, I want it to multiply it by 264. No, it's bigger. Beautiful. Now let's see how we can use this widget blueprint. In our BP door, when we check if we are in last level or not, if we are in last level, the true will happen, and in that case, we can create widget blueprint, right? Which widget we want to create is WBP complete game UI, right? That's it. And now with that, it will create our widget blueprint and we can add it to viewport, right? Beautiful. Hit compile, save. Now, if we open up level 3, let's see. Go to content, go to levels, open up level 3, and now if you run and finish the game, let's see what will happen. And now you can see it will blur out the game completely and it will say you won. In this video, I will show you how you can have some button in our you won widget. So in here, if you click on quit the game, it will quit the game for us. And again, if I play it one more time and we click on play again, we start from level 1. Beautiful. Let's see how we can do that. Now we want to add 2 buttons, one for play again and one for quit the game, right? So for adding that, I want to use another type of panel so I can show it to you. Of course, you don't need to use that, but you need to learn new stuff as well. Because I want to add a button in here and another button alongside it. I want to use a horizontal box in our canvas panel, right? You can see the horizontal box is over here, but I want to put it on middle below this U1. So first thing first, we need to change the anchor to the middle, just like that, and position X and position Y to 0. Next, the alignment of it, I want it to be 0.5 and 0.5, so it will be exactly at middle. Now I want to change the position Y to 150, so we have some offset from this U1. This over here is more than good. Next, I want to check this size to content, so when we put something there, it will size it to the content inside it. Right now it is this small because there is nothing inside it. Next, I want to add a button to it. So in here, if you go up, one button for the play again and another button for the quit the game. Now you can see both those buttons, and for each one of these buttons we want to add a text inside it. So for this one a text, and for this one as well we need a text. Now you can see it takes shape. Now for this text I want to say play again, and for the next text I wanna say quit game. Now for these buttons I want to choose a good name. For example, for this button I want to go here, you can see the name in here. I want to change it to play again BTN for button, right? And I want it to be a variable so I can use it inside the graph. Next, this button, this is quit game button, so let's just call it quit game BTN. And again, this one I want it to be variable so we can use it in the graph as well. Next thing, I want to select both of these buttons with holding control and select both of them, and I want to change some stuff. For example, the padding to the left I want it to be 10. Now you can see there is some space between them, and padding to the right I want it to be 10 as well. Now you can see it is exactly at middle and it has some space between them. And that's all we need to do for the buttons. Now I want to select both of these texts, so hold control, select both of these texts, and I want to change the color to something like this. Of course you can choose whatever color that you want, but I want to choose this color. We have our buttons. Now let's see how we can code them. For coding them we should go to graph, and in here we have the quit game button and play again button. Because we make a variable, that's why we see it in the variables in here. For example, in quit game button we can say whenever we clicked on it this event happened, and in that case we want to quit the game. That's it. It's easy. Quit the game, it will quit the game for us. Now we have play again button. Again, whenever we click on it we want something to happen, so we need this event, and in here whenever we click on play again button we want to open a level by name. Which level? Level 1. So we start over, right? Play again. That's it. Now let's just check that out. If we go to our level 3 and run, let's just finish our game. And now we have the buttons, but we can't click on it. Why? Because we don't have access to the mouse cursor, right? So for having that we need to go to BP door. After we add the widget blueprint to our viewport, we need to tell it to show the mouse cursor. But how we can do that? First we need to get the player controller like this, and inside this player controller we want to say show mouse cursor. We want to set it to true, so it will show the mouse cursor. And after that we want to set the set input mode to be UI only, so we can interact with the UI. It needs a in widget focus. We can just give it this widget that we create over here, just pass it to in widget focus. And that's all we need to do. Let's just hit compile, save. Now let's just test that. If we go, just finish our game. And now we have access to mouse cursor, and we can click on quit or play again. If we click on quit, you can see it will get out of our game. But now if we finish the game and click on play again button, let's see what will happen. If we click in here, it will start from level 1 again and our game will work. But I can't move anymore. Why we can't move? Because we set the input mode to be UI only. That's why we can't get any inputs. For fixing that, we need to go to BP player, and at the begin play, at the end of this begin play execution path, we need to get the player controller again and set the show mouse cursor again to false whenever the player respawn, right? And after that, set input mode to game only, right? Now let's just test that out. If we compile and go to our level 3 and finish our game again, let's see what will happen. In here, I want to click on play again. No, I can move again and everything is working fine. In this video, I want to show you how you can play some background music, and each level has its own background music. Just look at that, it's beautiful. Go to the next level, and that's it. Now we have audio in our game. Let's see how we can do that. For adding audio, we have some audio that we can use. Let's just go to content, go to asset, and if you go to audio, you can see for each one of these levels, we have audio for level 1, level 2, and level 3. Let's see how we can add them. For adding them, you can just right click on it and create a queue for it. No, we can just double click on it, we can change some stuff, but the only thing that I want to change, I want to click on this wave player and make it loop. So whenever this audio happen, it will happen in loop, and we need to do it for all of them. So right click on this one, create queue, and double click on it to open it, click on the wave player and click on looping. Again, we need to do it for level 3 as well. Create queue, double click on it to open it, and in here we want to make it loop. Now all the queues are built and it's okay. Now in our level, let's see how we can use them. For example, this is level 3. I want to use level 3 background queue, so just put it wherever you want. Now if you play, you can see it's playing. But the volume of it, it's too much. We can change it over here. Just click on the level 3 background music and change the volume multiplier to 0.1 because it's too loud. Now if you run, you can see, beautiful, we have a background music, and we need to do it for other levels as well. So let's just go to content, go to levels, level 2, make sure you save everything. And now this is level 2. Let's just add the sound. It is in asset, in audio. This is level 2. Put it there. The volume of it, 0.1. That's it. Let's just test that out. And beautiful. No, for level 3, so content, levels. No, we want to do it for level 1, so open up level 1, make sure you save everything. And in here, let's just drag and drop the audio there. This is level 1, put it there. Make sure you change the volume to 0.1. No, with that done, let's just test it. If we run, you can see, go to next level. And the audio has changed. Just go up and go to the next level. And the audio again is changed. Beautiful. And if you play again start from there. For the last step, we need to package our game so we can share it with our friends and maybe sell it, right? So for doing that, you need to go to platforms, and in here you can create it for iOS, Android, Linux, Mac, tvOS, but for each one of them you need to install its own SDK. Right now I want to just create it for Windows. So in Windows in here, you can choose the shipping, or if you want to just check your game, just use development, or if you want to debug, select debug. And again, if you are in development, it's exactly like this, you can choose development, right? Next, because I want to create it for my Windows x64, I will choose x64, and after that I want to change the binary configuration to be shipping so I can share it with my friends. Next thing that we should do, we should tell this packaging to include all the levels that we have. We need to add them one by one. So for doing that, go to edit, go to project setting, and in here search for list map, and that's it. You can see the list of maps to include in packaging build. We need to add them one by one. First, the first level. Click in here. No, in here choose the level and choose the level 1. Next, we need to add another one. Click in here, choose the level 2, and again click in here again and choose level 3. Now we add all the levels, and this is all we need to do for that. Now we can go to platforms, go to Windows, and click on package project. It will tell you that the SD card for Windows is not installed properly, but it's like a bug. We can ignore it and hit continue. It will tell you where do you want to put execution file. I will put it in our project folder, head select folder, and now it will start building our project. It may take a little bit time, so just wait until it finished building up our project. Now the packaging is completed, we can test it. For testing that, open up the project folder, and in here now you can see a Windows folder there. Go there, and now there is executable file. Double click on it to open it to run our game. And now you can see everything is working fine, and we can go to the next level. Beautiful. But one problem that you can see in here, the collision sometimes is not working. And for you, maybe you fell down off the level completely. These are the problems that can happen, and in newer version or older version, there is all the new problem as well that it's not happening in here, but you always can ask if you have any problem. Now, let's see how we can fix this. You can see the collisions right now. For the ground is working, maybe for you is not working even for the ground. And for these platforms, again, it's not working. So let's see how we can fix it. With Alt F4, we can get out of the game. For fixing that, we can open up the tile maps one by one. For example, for this one, It's like a bug that these kind of things is happening. You can just check the collision thickness and make sure you save, and you do it for all of them. So no, for this one, again, collision thickness for the main layer that we are using layer collides. When you enable this, it will fix our bug. It's just a bug. In newer version, maybe they fix this, but in this version, we need to check this. Now with that done, again go to our level, go to platforms, go to Windows, again package the project, and it should fix our problem. This time that we are packaging, it will be completed much faster than before. And that's it, the packaging is completed. Now we can open it up one more time to test it. And that's it, let's just go forward, go to the next level. No, you can see the collision is working fine. Let's just go to the next level to see if the UI is working or not. So let's just go here, and that's it. We can click on play again, or we can click on quit the game. Let's just click on quit the game, and now it will quit the game. Congratulations on finishing this course.